What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mindset Monday. And today we're talking why any excuse really isn't a valid excuse. Now, what's that mean? So, a lot of you are busy in your everyday lives. I understand that. You have things going on. It might not go how you think it's going to go. But at the end of the day, we all have an allotted amount of time. Those 24 hours. And usually, 6 to 8 hours, hopefully, are allotted for sleep. Outside of that, we're doing stuff. Now, for us, we're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to become healthier versions of ourselves. And there should be almost no excuse out there unless, we have a tsunami, earthquake, meteor strike, or something tragic happening in the family. But I get this excuse all the time. All the time. I don't have enough time in the day to, let's say, track or to work out or to eat. That's not an excuse. That's you creating an excuse to make yourself feel better for why you didn't do something. And when you start realizing you're just fabricating excuses to validate yourself, that's when you'll really start to grow. Because when you stop creating these excuses and start taking accountability for what you did, I didn't go for a workout today. Why didn't I go today? Well, I was really tired. I really didn't feel like it. I'd rather hear that than, I was just so busy today and I just didn't go, or I couldn't track my food today because, I was so busy. Even though it takes about 2 minutes to track, I know very, very busy individuals that are literally, some of them are like blue collar oil rig, not oil rig, but oil in the oil fields, right? So they're literally like drilling and doing some of the craziest labor I've seen, and they still have time to track. But, some of us in nice offices don't have time to track or think ahead and plan a meal out. I know all of you out there eat. So it's not that, I didn't have time so I couldn't eat what I was supposed to. No, you didn't feel like it. You're creating excuses. I had I had actually this discussion with somebody I know closely where, I talk about investing a lot because that's something else I do. And they made an excuse today where they're like, I'm not going to invest every week, but I'm going to invest bi-weekly because I have this one expense coming up. And I'm like, what's the difference? Well, I just want to be safer and just in case this and that. And she started making excuses. And I called her out. I was like, will anything in your life change? No. Well, why are you making up this excuse so you cannot do it? She's like, she thought about it and she was like, well, you're right. You know, I made up this excuse because it'll make me feel better because I was panicking or I didn't know what else to do and it maybe didn't feel comfortable at that time. So I needed an excuse to give myself a way out. So she was looking for a way out. And that's what a lot of people do. They make excuses to look for a way out. But instead, stop looking for that way out and start looking for a way to fit it in. Guys, I work out, I eat fairly well. It's not perfect. I don't have the best workouts all the time because sometimes I'm time crunching this, but I still get it done. And by no means do I have a lot of time in the day, right? It's either investing in and trading in the mornings, and then I have client check-ins, and then we have content, creating content for this, creating content for other businesses. There's so much going on. And yeah, I can get lost and create and give myself the excuse where, I really didn't feel like it today. Or, it's too late to go to the gym. Or I don't want to get up early. But if I start doing that, it becomes a habit. I'll start making up excuses for everything. I really didn't. I saw a cheesesteak on my way home, so I grabbed that instead of eating my meal because, I didn't have time. And you start going down this rabbit hole of excuses. But when you start taking accountability for what you didn't do and understanding why you didn't do it and reflecting, being like, you know what? That's a bullshit excuse. I, sh- I should have went. Once you start thinking in that mentality, you will really grow because we're not here to make excuses. We're here to make progress and we're here to have results. And results don't happen with excuses. Think about this. How about if you had an excuse for work? I was too tired. I didn't feel like going to work. You wouldn't do that. You need to go to work. Your health is so important, guys. I feel like some of you neglect to understand how important your health is. If you're not healthy, you can't go to work, you can't support your family, you can't think well, you can't take care of others, and you can't take care of yourself. If you can't take care of if you can't take care of yourself, just had a brain fart there, people are going to have to take care of you. And then you're going to be a liability, and nobody wants that, right? We want to be self-sustaining. We don't want other people to need to be around us because we rely on them because we didn't take care of our health, right? And a lot of people look short term, but in the long term, these little excuses will really add up, negatively impacting you. So if you start taking accountability now and stop making excuses, you will see your labor come into fruition. Now, I know it's a big rant, and all I want you guys to understand is stop making excuses. Take action, right? Stop creating excuses for why you didn't do anything. Figure out why you really didn't do it. Was it because you didn't feel like it? Do you not like what you're doing? Do you not like what you're eating? Do you not like how you're feeling? Whatever it is, find out what the real root of it is and find out if it's really more important than your end goal. Whether it's, feel more energized, look better, think better, anything. Play with your kids. Be able to throw a football with your kids when they're under your when you're older and you have grandchildren or whatever. Like, think of the future, and is it worth making that excuse now? Right? Is it worth making that excuse now for what will come in the future? And that's all I have to say for this mindset, guys. A little ranty, but stop making excuses, start taking action. And if you ever need help with anything, guys, we're always here. We're always here to tell you why your excuse isn't a good excuse. 99.9% of your excuses aren't good excuses for why you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So guys, I will see you guys next week and have a great rest of your week.